What's up, y'all? Man, what's good? Let some of y'all come in on this Valentine's Day. Y'all love Valentine's Day, but it's a pagan holiday. But we're not gonna talk about that. But it's a pagan holiday, though. Yeah, it's pagan. But anyway, so I realized something. Well, I didn't realize something. I've been new. You know, a lot of you all are going back into slavery. You just don't know it, but you're going. You're going back into slavery. Now, y'all out here, everybody out here celebrating the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, they taking your rights away. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up, y'all? Y'all celebrating the Super Bowl and they taking your rights away. Everybody, they said at the Super Bowl, you don't have to be jabbed up. You don't have to wear your mask at the Super Bowl. But all around LA, you got to be jabbed up and masked up. They gave you a taste of the future. And in the future, the folks with the privilege are going to be able to walk around how they want to. It's going to even get so deep. It's going to be that the people with a privilege will be able to have children. No poor people will be allowed to have children. Can y'all hear me? Because somebody just called. But anyway, in the future, no poor people will be able to have children. I'm telling you what they're going to do. Certain activities, all the good things about life will be reserved for all the people that are privileged. And they gave you all a piece of that when they showed you the Super Bowl. All the rich people, all the famous people were able to be in there having a good time, no mask on, no jab, none of that stuff. But you gotta have a jab to go to work. But you gotta wear the mask in all these establishments. But you, somebody said it's not gonna happen. Man, it's gonna happen. And you know, I look at the Bible and I look at what I see now, and people are doomed. I'm sorry, they're doomed. People are doomed. It's over. The fact that people in Los Angeles have lost everything or had to sacrifice their bodies to keep what they had, and nobody was outraged about the Super Bowl, tells me everything. It shows me everything. So at the end of the day, and hold on, and shout out to Lizzo. Lizzo, she built like a football, but Lizzo out there wearing her little outfit. Shout out to Lizzo for giving us the true spirit of the Super Bowl and literally wearing a football outfit and being shaped like a football. But the funny thing is, there was no outrage in Los Angeles where the people are literally celebrating the Super Bowl as they watch all the elite, all the rich, all the privileged people doing what they can't do. All they did was give the people a glimpse into the future. All they did was give people a glimpse into the future. And the future is there will be two tiers of society. The Bible even tells you it's going to be rich, poor, slave, and bondservant. So the Bible already tells you there will be four classes of people. Four classes: rich, poor, slave, and bondservant. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. At the end of the day, the lack of outrage lets me know how complicit folks will be with slavery. And since it's Black History Month, let me talk about my people. Y'all said, let me ask y'all a question. Is Eminem woke? Is Eminem woke? That's all I want to know. Is Eminem woke? Eminem kneeled down for what? What was Eminem kneeling for? For what? What has he done in your community? Eminem, and I'm going live on IG in a couple of hours so I can show y'all visuals. You know, I love those visuals to drive my point home. But what has Eminem done in your community? Tell me. I've never been in the hood where they bumped Eminem. I never been riding by and somebody was bumping Eminem. I never been to a cookout where somebody was bumping Eminem. I never been to a barbecue, a house party. I've never heard nobody bump Eminem, but yet we say he's the greatest rapper alive. I never heard nobody bumping Eminem, but yet we say he's the greatest rapper alive. And you think we ain't going back into slavery? Eminem was kneeling down for what? Then he lied and said the NFL said don't kneel. The NFL don't care about him. Man, are y'all, why are y'all, you know what? You know what? I'm not even upset. Because I saw 2 years ago that this was going to happen. I saw 2 years ago. I saw that we are going back into slavery. I saw it. I saw it. You call it an epiphany. You call it a revelation. You call it a vision. I saw 2 years ago that we were going back into slavery. I saw it. I saw it. Y'all telling me Eminem is woke. Eminem has done absolutely zero for your community. And when he kneels down at a Super Bowl halftime, like it wasn't orchestrated, like it wasn't planned, like it wasn't set up by all the elites, and now he invited to the cookout forever. Matter of fact, he gets to cook at the cookout. So you know what that means? All the meat gonna be raw. Y'all done made Eminem the honorary cook at the cookout. So now y'all know that all the meat gonna be raw, and y'all gonna act like y'all enjoy it because you want to save face in front of Eminem. When I grew up, and where I grew up, my people didn't cater to white people like that. I'm sorry. My people, when I grew up, didn't put white folks on a pedestal like y'all do. I'm sorry, I never saw it. I never saw it. I never saw it. My folks wasn't even talking about racism, but one thing they didn't do was put them white folks on a pedestal. Ain't no way. Matter of fact, my father, I never heard my father refer to white people as white people or Caucasians. My father referred to them as Peckerwoods. That was the name, and I didn't know Peckerwood was an offensive term till I got older, because that's how my father and many men in my community referred to white people, as Peckerwoods. That's it. It was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So this new generation of black folks, African Americans, whatever you want to call them, this new generation is very much putting white people on a pedestal for nothing, though. For nothing. For absolutely nothing. Now you say, Blanche, why you bringing up race? I'm not bringing up race to bring up race. I'm just showing you how white liberals have completely brainwashed our people. We're giving white people credit for doing what? For following a script? We're giving white people credit for following a script. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Is Eminem woke? That's all I want to know. Is Eminem woke? What did he do? He kneeled down. He kneeled down in front of a bunch of rich and privileged people at the Super Bowl. Who was he kneeling for? You? He wasn't kneeling for you. He wasn't kneeling for me. Who was he kneeling for? He was kneeling in the name of propaganda, so that you all could believe he's down for the fight. Well, if Eminem is so down for the fight, tell me what he said about this jab. If Eminem is so down for the fight, tell me what he said about these mandates. If Eminem is so down for the fight, tell me what has he said about your rights. Folks are losing their job behind this stuff and losing their life. Tell me what he said about that. Talking about kneeling down for police brutality. There is no statistic that supports police brutality. I'm sorry to tell you all that. There's no statistic. There's none. Zero. Blanche, they killing us. No, y'all watch the media. I look at the numbers and the stats and statistics. I read. Y'all get tricked by Eminem. I don't, because I read. There is no stat that supports police brutality. Zero. I can show you all the numbers, but they don't show you the number. I just saw in the news, they said there's been 13 police-involved shootings in Atlanta, with people shoot with police shootings with people. But what they forgot to tell you was how many police officers been killed in Atlanta. You see, they telling you one side of the story, so they telling you this, but not telling you that. How many police officers have been killed in Atlanta and shot in Atlanta and shot at in Atlanta? Because you know that crime has skyrocketed. And you know that our people account for over 50% of the homicides in this country. And you all have the audacity to take a white liberal narrative and talking point while your own people, these babies out here dying too. They shooting the babies. While your own people out here dying, y'all would rather take a y'all rather listen to Eminem than your own people out here dying. Y'all do notice the same way they silence these people, with this jab and these jab injuries and all that stuff, are the same way they silence the mothers of our community that have had their sons and daughters, mostly sons, brutally, and children, brutally murdered. Brutally murdered. They silence them. You never hear these mothers' pain. You never see these mothers crying. You never see these mothers' tears. All these people dying. We talking about 8,000 to 10,000 homicides a year, and you don't see no mothers crying about their babies being brutally murdered by us. But you see mothers crying when the police shoot somebody, and you want me to step over 10,000 dead bodies to focus on one person shot by the police. It's absolutely insane, and it's disgusting. And I'm saying this in Black History Month. It's disgusting. You all are disgusting. Talking about police brutality. You don't even know why the whole police brutality is even a thing. What they want to do is they want to have a government-ran police. Police that's ran by the government. So that means they can inflict martial law whenever they want. Do you understand what they're doing? Do you understand why they want to defund the police? Where did the money go? That defund the police plan ain't going back to you or me or to our community. That defund the police thing is going to the people that already got money. That defund the police initiative is going to the folks that already have the money. Don't you understand this is all communism? Don't you understand they want you to hate the police so they can offer you a new police? And that new police, I'm telling you right now, the new police will look international. It's going to be Chinese. It's going to be Indian. It's going to be immigrants. That new police force, they ain't even going to be Americans. Because they know that Americans will empathize with Americans. Nah, they're going to have a whole immigrant police force in your community. And when they say it's lockdown, it's lockdown. When they say it's curfew, it's curfew. And y'all ignorant, emotional dummies are going to fall for it. Some police brutality. Go read the stats and the numbers. Do you know how many interactions the police have with us in our community? I'm talking about millions upon millions upon millions. And do you know how many unarmed people get killed a year? Do you know how many unarmed Black people get killed a year? It's less than 15. They'll never show you that stat. The other stats they show you of people getting murdered are armed people. They're armed. 99% of the police shootings are against armed people. Got following these white liberals. It's crazy. These white liberals, Eminem and all of them, they want you enslaved. And everybody they put in front of you that looks like you wants you enslaved. They want you enslaved. This is crazy. Y'all sitting there celebrating the Super Bowl and they taking your rights away. Y'all should have boycotted the Super Bowl. If the NFL is so racist and the NFL's like slavery, then why didn't you all boycott the Super Bowl? If the NFL is so racist, why are the players still playing? Why is Odell Beckham on the sideline slinging snot? Why? Why are players crying for these white folks if the NFL is so racist? Why are they crying in front of these white folks if the NFL is so racist? I just seen a thing on there talking about the NFTs. They got NFTs, meta slaves. Didn't I tell you all we going back into slavery? Didn't I tell you all that? Didn't I tell you all that didn't I tell you all a year and a half ago that we are going back into slavery and they already got meta slaves for the metaverse? I told you all. I told you all. I told y'all. They already setting you up. Thanks, Navi. If I wear this bow tie, maybe they'll listen to me. I ain't got no bean pies, but y'all love the Nation of Islam. But you can't tell me what they done in your community. I love the Nation of Islam, but you can't tell me what the Nation of Islam has not gotten any legislation passed. The Nation of Islam has not gotten any legislation passed. If the Nation of Islam is so bad and police brutality is so wrong, then why have they not stepped in the gap? Why are they not policing our communities? I'll tell you why. Because the NOI knows if they do, they get their head blowed off. That's why. Because they know how y'all really are in these inner city communities. That's why Malcolm said, we profess to be nonviolent, even though we do a lot of shooting and stabbing of each other. That was back in the mid-60s he said that. That was back in 63 when he said that. We do a lot of shooting and stabbing of each other, even though we profess to be nonviolent. And years later, we killing each other like it's a real epidemic, a real pandemic of black on black violence. I said it. When I was growing up, the folks that broke in our house looked like us. The folks that stole from me looked like us. Talking about no white people. Wasn't no white folks. Only white folks I saw come in my neighborhood was the white folks going across the street. Keep in mind, it was three crack houses in the neighborhood, 3 dope spots. It was 3 dope spots. One of the dope spots, he sold the white folks drugs. He sold the cocaine. He sold the acid. He sold the white folks drugs. White folks coming in my neighborhood in business suits when they got off work to get the dope from the house across the street. That's the only time. Wasn't no white folks gentrifying during the crack era. White liberals come in y'all community, not white conservatives. White liberals come to y'all community, not white conservatives. White conservatives don't bother y'all. White liberals come in your community and then treat you like dirt. Treat you like you less than human. Get out of here. Y'all listen to these Eminem kneeling and y'all going for it. Mary J. Blige dancing, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, all of them on the payroll. What have they said about this jab? What have they said about these mandates? They up there dancing and singing. What have they said about your freedom? They up there dancing, shucking and jiving in front of a bunch of rich white folks. But what have they said about your freedom? And these jabs and these mandates and all this tyranny. Falling for this foolishness. Y'all to be ashamed of yourselves. Celebrating that Super Bowl. Y'all crazy. People out there starving and dying and y'all celebrating the Super Bowl. Crime going through the roof in LA. Homelessness going through the roof. Your governor is literally... Governor Newsom is literally implementing communism and y'all sitting there celebrating it. Y'all disgust me. I don't care. Y'all did it all in Black History Month. I told y'all, you don't want nothing. Y'all don't want nothing. Y'all don't want nothing. And I see folks popping in and out because I'm telling the truth. They won't let me come on CNN. They'll let your woke folks come on CNN. All the woke folks can go on CNN, but not me. And I'm the sellout. Why won't CNN, why won't MSNBC, why won't CBS, why won't The Breakfast Club, why won't none of these industries let me on their platform? Why not? Because they know when I get on there, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to pull the whole cover off of everything. Can't have that. Y'all sitting here talking about white, and the Jews control everything. White, and the Jews control everything. And y'all never mention them Jews because you know if you mention them, you're going to get canceled. Y'all a bunch of cowards. Y'all are cowards. And they only let Farrakhan talk about the Jews because he with them. The Nation of Islam is with them. If the Nation of Islam was a real organization, they wouldn't be in existence. If the Nation of Islam was a real organization, they wouldn't be in existence. If they was really bringing about change, they wouldn't be in existence. I posted a video with that little girl dancing on her father. I was the only one to post that video and blur everything out. And they said that video went against community guidelines. They hit me with all kind of with hate speech, hit me with everything off of that video I posted. That girl dancing on her twerking on her father. You know why they took it down though? Because I linked it to black culture. You see, I'm the one that dare talk about how dangerous, how destructive, how evil black culture is. I'm the one that dares to, because the white liberals know if he condemns black culture, we can't, because they control y'all through black culture because they own black culture. Y'all don't. So they say if he's condemning black culture, he's condemning our means of controlling the people. Because black culture says you got to be a Democrat. The black pastor in the church says you got to vote Democrat. So black culture says you got to be a Democrat. Think about that. Black culture says you got to be a Democrat. Black culture says if a white person says that you are oppressed, they get to come to the cookout. They ain't got to mean it, you got to say it. And I see folks leaving. I know they leaving the YouTube. I know they leaving because I'm talking real. Y'all sat up here and celebrated all these folks at the Super Bowl. Lizzo built like a football. Y'all celebrating all these people. And the end result is on Monday, you're going to celebrate Valentine's Day. Y'all had a whole great weekend. Then they finna hit y'all with the NBA All-Star next weekend. Y'all realize they gave y'all the shortest month of the year for Black History Month and they put everything in it. But meanwhile, they telling you the truckers in Australia are racist. And y'all dummies is falling for it. The truckers in Australia are racist and they're fighting for your freedom. That's the funny thing is, I'm gonna tell you what's hell. I'm gonna tell you the worst part about hell. The worst part about hell is, you know, when you're in hell, it's going to be your fault. That's the worst torture about hell. And they say you're gonna repeat the same torture over and over again. Yeah, I get all that. But the worst thing about hell is that it's gonna be your fault and you're gonna know it. When you all are in those camps, when they got y'all on the outskirts of town, let's see, most of you all are just gonna do what they say do. What you don't realize is that when they create communism, black people, black America are already the most impoverished group in this country. So I'm just telling you all now, when they implement communism, you all go from the most impoverished to slavery. Down from being poor is slavery. So they got you up there listening to Kendrick Lamar and Snoop Dogg, Crip walking, and Dr. Dre playing the piano, Eminem kneeling, Mary J. Blige doing that stiff-legged dance. All that stuff's going on. But I'm telling you right now, when they implement communism, you're going to be a slave. And guess what? I'm not going to be there around you all. I'm not going to be able to give y'all no encouraging word. I'm not going to be able to start no revolution. Nothing. Y'all going to suffer by yourself because all the folks like me will by then have washed their hands of you. They'll have washed their hands of you. Y'all still chatting BLM. BLM ain't did nothing for your community. And you still chatting and supporting BLM. Y'all are still supporting BLM. And they've done nothing for you at all. So at the end of the day, and the beginning of the day, you all are going to choose your own fate. I'm telling you, you're going to choose it. They're going to offer you freedom or slavery. The difference is freedom is going to mean you got to get it off the muscle on your own. Y'all are going to reject it. There's no way they can have a Super Bowl in LA and the Oscars in LA where they're saying no mask, no jab, and everybody okay with it as LA is locked down. LA has only been off of mask restrictions 1 month since the whole thing began. So the folks in LA have literally been locked down this entire time. The entire time. When I went to California in July, I landed on the day the mask mandates were ending, meaning they had to put the mask back on. So what I'm telling you all is, the people in Los Angeles sat there and celebrated a Super Bowl where the rich and privileged could not have their mask on and not show proof of a jab, but you got to when you go to work tomorrow. It's a cold game. So when we say we're not going back to slavery, we're going back to slavery. I'm not going. You might not be going, but millions of us are going because we're going to choose it. Because right now we see that it takes character to fight against freedom. It takes character to fight against freedom. So now, what is required now of us is character. And most folks have not built it up. I'm sorry. Most folks have not built up character. They just haven't. Most folks been playing this entire time. Y'all got exposed, in my opinion, back in 2020 with all the rioting, all the riots. Because y'all do know that George Floyd was a setup, right? Y'all do know that George Floyd was a setup, right? You know George Floyd set you up with that, right? Now you do know in about 30 years, all your black heroes that you think are heroes now will be gone and erased. You know that, right? You know that, right? Okay. As long as you know that. They're going to replace all y'all black heroes with entertainers, rappers, and singers, and athletes. They're going to replace all y'all people with control people from the system. Puppets. All of them. Kendrick Lamar, puppet. Dr. Dre, puppet. Snoop Dogg, puppet. Mary J. Blige, puppet. Eminem, puppet. They all puppets. Every last one of them. You gonna say, not Kendrick, he woke. Puppet. You ain't heard Kendrick speak out against this jab. You ain't heard Mary J. Blige speak out against this jab. You ain't heard Dr. Dre speak out against this jab. You ain't heard Eminem speak out against this jab. You ain't heard none of your people that y'all said was woke just 2 years ago. Y'all said they was woke. None of them have spoken out against none of this tyranny. I lost my job behind this. I did nothing wrong. Think about this. I did nothing wrong. My manager, black. The HR person, black. Who do you think fired me? Both of them. Why'd they fire me? Over the jab. We're going to be on the wrong side of history. And I told you all this. We are going to literally not only choose slavery, but black people, the black community, and black culture is going to enforce it. And in about a couple more years, black culture will be completely taken over by the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z community. Mark my words, in just a few years, the black community, the black culture that we follow right now is going to be completely taken over by the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, Z. I watched y'all celebrate the Super Bowl. And you gotta wear a mask everywhere else you go. You gotta show proof of jab everywhere else you go. And I watched you all celebrate the Super Bowl. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't have any sympathy for any of you all. Many of you all are an abomination. You're an abomination. We've been crying and complaining this whole time. And the moment these white people, the moment these Caucasians said that y'all can't have fun anymore, we folded. We got exposed. The moment these white people said, you all can't have fun anymore unless you do this, we folded. So we see what it's really about. It was never about freedom, never about equality, never about equal rights, never about voting, none of that. When these white people said, you all can't have fun anymore unless you get this jab, we all folded. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it. So I know what it's really about. So when I get on social media and I talk like this, everybody runs their mouth and they argue with what I'm saying. Everybody runs their mouth and they argue with what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, they can't refute what I'm saying, because now when they tell you that you can't go in somewhere, you don't buck. Now when they tell you you can't work somewhere, you don't buck. Big pun intended with the word buck. Y'all don't buck. Isn't it ironic that these folks are actually infringing upon your rights and you're silent? But you want to convince me that back then when they was infringing upon your rights, it was real? It wasn't real back then. It was all propaganda. Now it's real. I just watched the Super Bowl and y'all saying Eminem is woke. Y'all gonna let Eminem cook at the cookout? All that raw meat? Y'all gonna let Eminem cook at the cookout all that raw meat? Y'all should be, you're not gonna be ashamed though. You're not gonna be ashamed. Y'all not gonna be ashamed. I know y'all. Y'all not gonna be ashamed. I'm making too much sense. I watched y'all celebrate the Super Bowl and these same folks telling you all that you got to have that jab to keep a job, to get a job, to go into a restaurant, to go to the gym, to live your normal life. These white folks said, y'all black folks, they said y'all Negroes can't have no more fun unless you do this, and all y'all did it. Kendrick Lamar did it, Dr. Dre did it, Mary J. Blige did it, Snoop Dogg did it. All of your woke people that was woke talking about social justice, all of them sold out to the system. But look who they call it sellout. Clarence Thomas. Y'all, they lied on Clarence Thomas. It was proven. They lied. They set Clarence Thomas up because he had his own mind. Clarence Thomas wasn't no Democratic Negro. Clarence Thomas was the one, y'all called him a sellout all this time. And years later, he's the one leading the charge to say that the mandates for the jab and the mask are unconstitutional. How is it? I tell y'all that the devil deals with inversion. So the folks they calling sellouts are actually fighting for you. And the folks they say that are fighting for you are actually selling you out. That's how the devil works. All these years later, y'all still call Clarence Thomas a sellout, and he's the one that said that these masks and jabs are unconstitutional. You cannot enforce the mandates, and y'all still have the audacity to call him a sellout. It's disgusting. But you want to convince me that you all are not going back to slavery. You're going back to slavery. Matter of fact, let me teleport this video 30 years in the future. Where you all are right now, you all chose to be. I don't care about no propaganda they're telling you right now. You all are enslaved right now because you chose to be here. So when you get to this portion of the video, just know I'm talking to you in the future. When they got them chips in your body and you can't go nowhere, and they shutting you down when they get mad at you, and they got the sun blocked out and all that stuff they doing to you, just remember you chose this. Just remember that people like me were the ones you condemned, telling you all they were going to put you all in slavery. Now that you are there, just know you chose to be there. So I don't feel sorry for you. Matter of fact, I know God is real if you all are in slavery and bondage. I know God is real. I know God is real. Because reaping and sowing is a godly principle. So if you all are reaping death and damnation, you surely have sown it. If you all are sowing death and damnation, then surely you shall reap it. So if you all are sowing bondage, surely you're going to reap bondage. But that's to y'all in the future. Now I'm back to my present day, February 14th, 2022. Happy Pagan Valentine's Day. Happy Pagan Valentine's Day. Y'all telling me that the system is so racist and corrupt, but y'all celebrate all the racist holidays. These are Caucasian holidays that y'all celebrate. But I keep telling y'all you don't want nothing. Black culture is filled with hypocrisy. Y'all will sit there and say the NFL is like slavery, but we got to go to the game. The NFL is like slavery, but we got to watch the game. The devil always deals in inversion. So the good people seem bad and the bad people seem good. And you all haven't figured it out yet. You know why? Because you all stopped reading the Bible. You put the Bible down, you pick them chakras up. But them chakras don't give you no wisdom. Yeah, you're right. If they last that long. Right. If they last that long. You are 100% correct. If they last that long. You are 100% correct. If they last that long. They may not last that long. I gave y'all 30 years. It may be less than 10. It's probably going to be less than 10 years at this rate. Got the audacity. These folks ain't doing nothing for the black community. And I'm saying black community, so y'all understand what I'm saying. The melanated community. These folks are doing nothing for it. And they got y'all tricked and deceived and they care about the people. Eminem is woke. Eminem. And I ain't never seen y'all bump Eminem at no cookout, barbecue, house party, car. I've never seen nobody bumping Eminem from my community. Never. Eminem's the greatest, but he get to be the greatest. Y'all disgust me. Y'all disgust me. Celebrating Lizzo shaped like a football and dressed like a football. Disgusting. And all y'all can say, I had one person say, somebody shared my video with them and the person said, oh, he like white girls. Now think about that. Think about all the content I put out. Think about everything I say. Think about everything that I do. And my whole existence is reduced to he likes white girls. Keep in mind, this person has never ever seen me with a white girl, ever. But that was his way of dismissing everything I've done. So what's going to keep black people out of slavery? If my voice can't reach the people and they're listening to these other folks, what's going to keep black people out of slavery? Nothing. Nothing is going to keep black people out of slavery. It's destined. If everything I do can be reduced to he likes white girls, not even he dates white girls, not even he married a white girl or had a child with a white girl. He dates white girls, disqualifies, no, not dates. He likes white girls, disqualifies everything I say. So imagine what's going to happen when you got a bunch of people telling them, don't go there because they're going to put you in chains. We had a whole bunch of folks at the Super Bowl celebrating. And the folks outside, they said the Super Bowl are suffering. They said the Super Bowl made $14.6 billion. The Super Bowl made $14.6 billion. And how much of that money went to the black community? How much of that money went to end world hunger? How much of that money went to deal with the homelessness crisis? How much of that money did anything positive for you or me? 14.6 billion, and they're telling you and me that we have to have a jab to get a job, to go get food. And they over there making 14.6 billion, not having to show proof of the jab or even wear a mask, and nobody's outraged. So not just black folks are going into slavery, but humanity is going into slavery. Not just us, everybody. Because the problem is, now it's real, most of the people are tucking their tail and exposing themselves for the cowards that they really are. You see, I saw 2 years ago. I said, y'all are tearing the streets up, but what do you want? What do you want? Nobody had an answer to what they wanted. I said, oh, y'all don't want nothing. Y'all just want some flat screens, some PS5s, some Xboxes, some bundles, some 1Bs and 1As, 2Bs and 2As. Navi say it's too late. I know it's too late. I know it's too late. Because the fight would have had to been done in 2020. The fight would have had to been done in 2020. It is too late. What I do now is try to motivate those that are already on the side of freedom and righteousness. I try to give them encouragement. But for most of the folks out there, they lost. It's like when it comes to the mark of the beast, you're going to be lost. I'll be doing a Bible study on Zoom, in this Bible study group on Zoom on Wednesday, talking about the mark of the beast. And I'm going to talk about how the mark of the beast is directly linked to black culture. Because the mark of the beast will very much be about appearance, what it looks like. That's why it's going to be a mark so people can see it on your forehead or your hand. So imagine you have it on your forehead to show people you're the extreme version, or you do this to show your lesion on your hand. Either way, it's the same thing. Some folks are more vain than others, so they don't want it on their face, but they want it on their hand. So when you see people, you'll know. They'll hold their hand up like this, or maybe like this, or like whatever on their forehead. Somebody, Navi said $0, but you're going to be broken, poor, and dusted and disgusted. So if Eminem is woke, it's already over. The fact that nobody protested the Super Bowl lets me know it's already over. It's a wrap. They calling the truckers racist, it's over. Because all of this hinges upon the chosen people. The chosen people. Isn't it ironic that we've been calling ourselves the chosen people this whole time? And right when it comes down to fight for freedom, we're literally the ones pushing everybody into bondage. We've been calling ourselves the chosen people this entire time. And now in the moment to fight for freedom, it is us pushing the people into bondage. It's us doing it. The people say that God has a sense of humor. I'm going to say the devil does too. God has a sense of humor, and so does Satan. Because who would have thought that the chosen people would be the ones leading humanity into bondage? That's why I kept asking you all, chosen for what? I keep asking you all, chosen for what? Nobody can ever give me an answer. What are y'all chosen for? We assume that chosen means something good. We assume that chosen means something good. Chosen ain't good on either side. Either you chosen to bring about the destruction of humanity, or you chosen to lead humanity to God. Either way, you ain't doing neither one. It's a wrap. That's right, Mimi. Are black people the example for what the world should be? No. The black community and black culture is an example of where the world's going to end up. So either way it's bad. Either we're not the example for the world, or we're leading the world into destruction. Either way it's bad. We're not remaining neutral. It'd be different if we just sat back and just stayed black and did what it. No. We're actually leading the charge on this tyranny. But Mimi's 100% correct. We tried to save our life. But we didn't try to save our life really. This is why Christ said that. This is why Yeshua said that. If you try to save your life, you shall surely lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake, you're going to have life everlasting. Why does he say that? And I hope I'm not butchering the scripture too much. But the person tries to save their life will surely lose it. Why? Because the person saving their life is saving their life because they want to be a part of the world. That's why they're saving their life. They're saving their life to be a part of the world. They're not saving their life for a righteous cause. And the person that loses their life for a righteous cause will have everlasting life. That's what he's talking about. You're saving your life to be a part of the world. You're not giving your life, which is losing your life. When he says lose your life, he's talking about giving up the world for his sake, to save the world, to be an emulation of him in the world. He gave the real sacrifice. All we got to sacrifice now, in this moment, is use time and money and energy. Eventually, our lives, though. Because the fight will get that severe. The fight will get that extreme. I want to thank you all for listening, tuning in. I will be going live on Instagram in a couple of hours. But I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And y'all be blessed.